right, we're in the end of spring. Looking at the potato plants, they are, as usual, consistently producing. Very straightforward. You throw a seed potato in the dirt and most likely it will produce something. It's very rugged, very robust. It doesn't take much know-how to be able to grow potatoes, at least in my area. And as they grow, they'll grow like anything else, a stem going up. You'll have to kind of mound them a little bit to stable out these stems, because they do become a little bit top heavy and they will fall over. But in the midst of growing, sometimes you'll see a potato plant flower. Typically you see flowering is not a good thing in the spring with certain crops, because that tends to indicate that the end of the life of a plant. It has hit a part of its life cycle that it thinks it's going to die, so it flowers and then produces seeds and then dies. And you see that with spring crops that are then being exposed to the summer heat, and it's becoming too much for them, and they tend to then go to seed or bolting. So you'll see that with lettuces, root vegetables, arugula, all sorts of different ones. So it's not atypical to see flowering on plants that you typically don't get flowers with. But in the case of potatoes, it's actually a good sign, not a bad sign. In this case, these flowers are indicating that the plant is growing well and is now approaching or within the stage where tubers are being developed. So if you see the potato flowers, that is not something wrong. That is not saying it is ready to be pulled, is ready to be harvested. It's actually indicating that it's now approaching or within the next phase of development, which is then producing the potato. So if you see the flowers, just let them go. There's nothing to do with them besides look at them. You'll know when potatoes are ready, when the whole plant dies. So flowers from potatoes are one of the atypical ones that are a good sign in the spring, because that indicates good growth and that the plant is not ready or about to die.